Over 80% of my revenue comes from people who are doing 500K per year or more, which is not that many people.
This approach has proved extraordinarily high leverage. Everything eventually gets commoditized, right? Everything. Eventually, there are just so many entrants into the market that you start looking to stand out with smaller and smaller things. Do you know what I mean? Welcome to The Five, my podcast with Matthew Larson, where we talk 5 things that we are doing in our businesses today to improve our revenue, our margins, and our life. How you doing today, Matt?
Good, my love. And you? How's that banana?
It's my love now. I love how little man changed to my love.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Look at that banana. I'm watching you eat that banana.
Eating this changed the term of endearment you used for me today.
Oh, yeah. It's getting me, it's doing something.
You're never being the allegations here, buddy.
Yeah, it's doing something. Let me just say that.
Well,
maybe you could, last week's been good, but maybe you could say 3 things today, because I usually have to just do everything around here.
And you want me to do some heavy lifting?
I want you to do some heavy lifting. I want you to finish that banana. We'll wait for you, and then you can do that. Well, so just let us know. Just let us know when you're done.
No, I can chew gum and walk at the same time. I can just dive in with my my number 1 point. So what I've been doing over the course of the last few weeks is I've been repurposing a daily channel into content for a main channel. This approach has proved extraordinarily high leverage, and I think that there's something really genius here. The key to it is you wear the same shirt, you style your hair the same, and then on your daily channel where you show up and you just yap about whatever the hell you yap about, you do a damn good job. You make sure, your lighting's nice and whatever. You pass that off to your editor, and then your editor provides these like highlight reel clips on your main. Part of my daily updates channel, where I just talk about business all day, is a Q&A period. And so as part of this Q&A period, what we've done is we've taken 5 or 6 videos worth of Q&As. Then we've just cut out all the crappy questions and the crappy answers and turned it into a highlight reel. And then we're just posting it on the main channel, and people love it. One of mine hit 2 of 10 the other day. 2 of 10. 0 additional time and energy on my end. All I do is I just answer questions that I'm already getting on a daily basis. This does 3 things. I don't know if it does 3 things. I just said that it'll do 3 things.
No, it does now, so better.
Apparently. So the first thing it does is it makes me better at answering questions that are core problems that community members are suffering from. Okay? And not just community members, but YouTubers. So I get very good at literally just objection handling. I just deal with objections all day, every day. What a better place, is there a better place for you to spend your time on than literally just dealing with the objections that your target audience has all day? No, I don't think so. 2, I get a daily accountability system built into this content that I'm doing every single day. Like I love daily updates because I just show up and then it's like, oh, I have to do it today. I have thousands now, almost 8,000 people that are literally subscribed to my channel watching me on a daily basis. And then 3, obviously, I get to produce main channel content with no additional work, which means my total daily time investment is now something like 45 minutes on average, something like 45 minutes. So if you think about it, I mean, I'm running a pretty chunky brand here now, right? Like we're going to hit 150K subs soon. And the fact that I can do all that with like 45 minutes-ish a day is crazy to me.
Very nice. So what is, what's the title of one of these videos? I want to check them out.
Let me take a peek. One sec. I think it's like, so here's what not to do, okay? When you do this, do not say Q&A, because then you're going to get like 10 of 10 on all of your videos. And it's going to be trash and nobody's going to want to see it. We did that. And then every single time it was 10 of 10. And then I was like, okay, this doesn't work. What you do instead is you come up with like an angle or a theme for the questions that you're answering. So one good example is the best strategy to sell AI automations and get client number 1. You come up with some angle to that, and then you post it almost as like a new piece of content, but then the content ends up being mostly Q&A. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Now, what you do is after you post it, then you can add and append the term Q&A to it, because the idea is most of the people that are going to see it initially are going to make the decision to watch it that are part of your core audience. And then most of the people that are not part of your core audience that would click on the video later, if they realize it's like just a Q&A thing where you're reading off a thread, the perceived value is going to be lower. But yeah, man, that's the strat. And so like this one did almost 10,000 and it's been like 5 days. This one's at like 7,500. It's been 2 days. That one's going to crush. The 7,500 in 2 days one, that one's going to crush. And yeah, we're just going to keep on like rolling these. And I'm going to do it probably once every, like I'm doing a little too often right now because I wanted to test the format. I'm probably going to do like once every 2 weeks or so, once every like 5 or 6 videos.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting because like there's a lot of good Q&As that don't have a full video worth, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, right? So many like incredible questions are asked on a daily basis that like just don't deserve a whole video because it's like a 5-minute question. So you just compile a bunch of those and then you turn it into a hypercut and then you give everybody everything they need to know. Also in the future, I'm gonna compile the compilations and I'll turn it into like AI automation expert answers everything for like 9 hours and 83 minutes or something. You know, it's just going to be an insane bank of value that people could listen to while they're like going for a jog or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. I like that a lot. It's like the first time I've seen someone repurpose it properly.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, like we just kept on getting 10 to 10s and the performance was terrible on the Q&A stuff. But just kind of sat down and was like, well, does it need to be this way? No, obviously not. We don't actually have to say, like here's a previous one that I did. Answering the questions every AI automation beginner asks. That was 3 weeks ago and I hit 7K. So this is obviously a very big underperformer. Why? Well, it's because like what I'm doing is I'm just answering questions. There is nothing as unsexy as framing it as answering questions. Don't frame it as answering questions. Frame it as doing something. You know?
Yeah, that's like YouTube in general. Like the same video, like the video doesn't even matter for how many views it gets, unless it's good enough to go viral.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah, definitely.
It has to be good to get huge amount of views, but like to get your whatever your baseline is, like I need to title my videos better for sure. I'd put like minimum effort into it.
Another thing is not like making it like a series or not making it like episodic or whatever. Like I don't think episodic stuff performs anywhere near as well on browse. And it, like, you know, as a viewer, like, am I really going to click a thing that says episode 53? I'm not going to click a thing that says episode.
I agree, but I agree for getting new viewers and stuff. But that shit converts so well because
like
people
an episodic?
binge your stuff if they like one episode.
That's an
like it's like super low for like I agree with you completely. Why would someone want to catch episode 197? But I just know from I know that for a fact for people who do it because I know a few other YouTubers who do it and they'll just binge watch. But I like my own anecdotal browsing habits, not really with business content, but like with mostly entertainment stuff. You like find some video maker who does their niche and then, okay, I'm going to watch yesterday's, the day before's, and then you just like keep doing it.
Oh, okay. I do see what you're saying. That would make sense. So
it's almost like watching RuneScape videos back in the day or watching like Sam Sulek is like pretty much an episode.
Yeah. No, that's true. Actually, I guess what you're watching at that point is like a TV show, right? Like you're not going to start most TV shows at like, episode 30.
But it's not, like most people in general don't start a specific TV show. So what you're saying is true. Like, but
hear me out here, Matt. Like what, there's no reason why we can't do both, right? So imagine this. What if you do an episodic thing, but then you don't mention it in the title? But then if somebody clicks on it and they watch the first 15 seconds of your intro or whatever, and you make it really fun and hype and whatnot, and then at the end, you say, by the way, this is episode 193 of whatever. If you guys want to grab the first one, just click this link. And then we just hard code a thing that takes us to the beginning of it every single time, carte blanche. What if we did that?
What if you did the first 2 minutes, like, let's just say no one answers one question because it's not a full video. What if you just make the first 2 minutes like where it could stand alone and then it goes to the next one? Okay, like let's just say I'm building a $1 million per year, whatever, business.
Right.
Today I'm going to talk about how to design a funnel. So this is the way the funnel is. And that's like should be the funnel. And then you go into, okay, now this is how I'm applying it and this is what I've done. So and then I have my ads from last episode.
Yeah, dude, I think that's brilliant. I think we could totally do that.
I was actually thinking of doing something like that because my like business. I'll go into that in my next point. It was one of my points, but I'll go into that in my next one. Because there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff that, and it'll be my next point too. But there's a lot of good stuff that's not a full 30-minute video, but is too long for a short form or like a newsletter.
I think this 2-minute thing that you're talking about is interesting because it also provides possibility for repurposing, and then you could also like make that into shorts content as well, which I think would be cool. I'm trying to think about like what is the optimal format of content that maximizes like repurposability, but it maximizes like new viewer impression click through rate. Then it also maximizes like long term viewer watch time. And I think you just hit the nail on the head. I think it's that because you would just mention that that's your format at the beginning of the series. People that have been with you know that that's your format. So when you create a new thing, it's not like they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to click on this video because it's just him. I don't want to watch the next 2 minutes because it's just him talking about the system or whatever. It's like, no, they know that eventually you're going to get to the QA part, which is why they want to watch your series. All the new guys are going to get value out of it. And then you're also going to have like an off ramp where you just delivered a little bit of value to them. They like you now, the new viewers. And then they're like, oh, okay, so I guess this is a series. So I click this button, I go back to the series, and then boom. So, dude, I think that's it. I think that's what we got to do, Matt. You want to do it with me?
Yeah. Because
all right, let's do it.
One thing that's it doesn't actually actively make me mad, but it's sad because like realistically, let's just say just like Alex Hermosi, where he has this many business lessons and it's like an hour video. He could just say them in one sentence, and the video would be 4 minutes. And it'd be just as good, right? Like in terms of value, but the perceived value of that, because it's not long, is way worse, right?
Well, if for you, I mean, you're like extraordinarily intelligent, and you would probably
but you could just say, okay, do this with your employees, do these 5 things with your employees, and it'd be a 2-minute video.
But I don't think that it would be anywhere near as effective. I think that the way that he frames things is like a delivery mechanism. It's like the chassis of a car that is delivering the package to you. It's like you don't just learn it in like that one simple phrase. What you do is you see him illustrating it visually through experiences that he's had, and then you see him tackle it in another way, and then you see it tackle it in another way. It's like looking at an object or something from one angle, and then looking at it from another angle, and then just going around the object. Well, I think for people like you, Matt, that have extreme deep knowledge of most of these concepts already, to you they're trivial. But I think that like for somebody that's not exposed to this before and they need that context, they need that perspective, and they need 3 different ways of saying the same shit, which probably comes across as boring to more experienced viewers. But
I literally have this automation that takes his videos and a few others, summarizes or transcribes them into Google Docs, and then gives 10 lessons from them or the top 10 points. And then if the top 10 points are good, I watch the video.
Yeah, fair enough. I like that.
But I think, because I just don't even like making YouTube videos anymore, which is evident by the fact that I barely ever post them. So I think if there was like a series that I could do that's interesting to me, I'd post a lot more.
I think for you, they're just not anywhere near as financially rewarding. You typically like doing things that make you a ton of money. And I bet you if YouTube made you 100 times what it's making you right now, you would probably do it. And
yes. Okay, sure. But even 10 times. But it could if I put more effort into it.
That's true. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah, you can make anything work enough.
Yeah. That is a great point. And Matt, speaking of points, what's yours, man?
Yeah, so it kind of relates to the next one. I'm making it's going to be audio only. It's going to be a separate channel. I'm going to put it on like Spotify and stuff where, like I said before, there's a lot of good stuff that's like maybe 5 to 7 minutes too long for a post or a newsletter, not long enough to perform well on YouTube. That's basically just as dry as you can get, but actually what you should be doing. So I am looking for a domain right now because I kind of think the domain matters. Where I've recorded 10 of these. It's just like your best lessons as fast as possible without missing anything. Audio only.
Okay.
And I'm gonna like use it as nurture content, just super actionable, because I feel like a lot of people's stuff is super actionable at the start, and that's what makes it grow. Because that's actually what people want, in my opinion. Agreed. And then they just change it to some production value shit.
Like general, like vague strategy stuff or like mindset stuff?
Well, because the general mindset stuff is actually what works, because that's what statistically most people don't even have a business.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
for sure.
Alex Hermosi, he said in one thing that 66% of people who fill out his website lead magnet or whatever don't even have a business yet. So it's just like, and there's just statistically, most people don't have a business. There's nothing wrong with that. But most people will go and then they'll post actually good stuff, and then they'll want to get more views, and then it will just become shittier, and they'll get more views and think it's actually good, and then their original audience leaves. And that's how like a lot of people don't make a lot of money. They actually either don't make much money or they actually make less money over time.
I see this happen a lot, and then I see channels getting like bad reputations, or that guy doesn't know anything. He's like peddling some bullshit. But then I also think about it strategically as in like, well, yeah, all roads lead to the top of the funnel, because the top of the funnel is almost always the bottleneck in some capacity. If you just get more people into the top.
Yeah, for me, I don't necessarily want to get people in the top of funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Like my top of funnel and middle of funnel and bottom of funnel is almost the same width. I just want like literally like this exact person. The reason I don't run ads for like a lot of my offers is the people who come in through ads and like not from YouTube maybe Twitter are actually just so retarded that I just don't even want to like work with them. Like, I could make money, like you could make more money, no problem. But the difference between someone who comes in from YouTube and Twitter's good too, versus LinkedIn or Instagram or ads or outreach is just so retarded that for the price I charge for what I do, it just is not viable to work with them.
I think it's not because the average IQ is lower on LinkedIn or whatever. It's just that they're not as educated off.
Yeah, they're not as educated.
Yeah.
But no, I think they're not as smart in general. I agree they're not educated on my content.
Knocked down a couple pegs.
Yeah.
If you're using LinkedIn, you're just...
And then if you do Facebook ads, which is the most scale, like a lot, that's what you would use. And
right.
It's actually, you get the biggest mongrels like possible from Facebook ads. Like you have no idea. If you are only on YouTube and Twitter, you're in a huge bubble. And like, like they say, like, think about how dumb the average person is. And you're just like, you just don't even know. But like, that'll show you how dumb they are.
All the people are dumber. All the guys at the left side of the bell curve are on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Or just paid ads in general. Like if someone's going to learn about you and like takes the time and like watches 10 videos, they're going to be more educated on their content, but that's way different in terms of everything than just clicking on an ad and booking a call.
I get it. You're like pre-selecting for the sort of person that's already ambitious and intelligent enough
to
and exploit their deficiencies.
And over 80% of my revenue comes from people who are doing $500K per year or more, which is not that many people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Very specific. And then I say that 80%, and then 75% of that 80%, well, so like 75% of the 100%, that's the 80%, is of people who are doing over 3 million a year or more.
Oh, okay.
Which is like, so like, and I really have zero, like, I have that school group that does like 9K a month, and I just do like one call a month in it.
Up to 9K now, hey? Ooh.
Yeah. No, down to 9K. I was at 14.
Down to 9K. All right.
But it's just like, I literally don't even want these people. Like so it's just
some
like,
of those people are watching this podcast right now, Matt.
Well, if they're watching this podcast, chances are the people I want. On my end, at least. Right. Maybe if they're coming through your funnel, maybe not, and just stay away from me. But
quiet. My guys are the best guys.
Yeah. But yours are definitely coming from YouTube, right?
Yeah, definitely. Vast majority. I mean, like Instagram and stuff too, and like obviously.
I bet you, like, I think
when you say
very,
Facebook,
very few percent of people come from Instagram for you.
Well, if we're talking percentage, for sure, but like absolute magnitude wise, my Instagram's almost at 250 now, so it's like proportionally speaking. I don't know for sure. I think we got like 20 signups to Maker School last month through Instagram, 25 or something.
So like, not money compared to YouTube. That's like 5%.
No, it's about 20. It's about 1/20th, about 5%. Yeah. So. Instagram for me, I mean, how much is that? What's 184 times 20 a month with like a 4-month average churn? What's that? Like 180, 360, 720. 720 times 20 is, wow, 36 grand. So Instagram technically made me lifetime value 36 grand this month. I mean, it's not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. But it's just like, because I don't know if I ever told you, or, I used to start a Facebook ad agency in about 2018, maybe, like way back. And we did, I had 3 partners, I had 25%, and we did it's like 50 to 60 million revenue. I can't remember the exact. And like revenue, definitely not profit. We had like almost no profit on that. It was a waste of time if you're talking about financially, because we didn't sell it. We barely made any profit. But the people who would come through though is just insane.
And that was back then too, where I think
Yeah.
Facebook was where a larger population of people were. Like nowadays, the only people on Facebook are indeed those quote unquote
Mhm.
mongrels. Rough stuff.
Yeah. It was just insane. And like that ruined me, like ruined my perception of doing those things. Cause I could probably, how good I am at advertising and I'm pretty good at building product, I could really probably run it up.
Mhm.
But it's just like I know a lot of guys personally who will do between 50 to 100 million a year in like an info product biz up and will make like 5% margin, if that. And I don't think it's just like not worth it because you can't, it's very unlikely you're going to sell those businesses.
Yeah. But a contra take is selling this business, the one that you're currently working with right now, like in the cards for you at all? Is that what you want to do? Sell the business?
I couldn't sell my consulting business. It wouldn't, no one would buy it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm talking about the affiliate one as well.
I could. It would, yeah, we could. Like media buying only is a very bad multiple.
Yeah.
You just turn the ads off and it's at zero. But
I'm building
I'm building up like actual brands and sites with it, but they're not in a position to get sold yet. Maybe in a few years.
Yeah, that's interesting. So like building up like this is an umbrella media, media corp, and then you have like dozens of these smaller brands that you're doing with things.
I have 6 like vertical brands and 6 verticals that would actually like be able to be sold
with like reasonable multiples, not just absolute.
Well, like a lot of those sites, if you have a brand, like those are really valuable. Like you could sell them 50 million for just the site.
Really?
If it's big enough.
Just the site?
Yeah.
Well, what is big enough? Organic traffic or?
Like when they get to the point that it's an actual brand, like in the space, most of the market not could be household names, but if in the space, like for senior living, a placeformom.com is like matches you with tons of senior living facilities, something like Lending Tree. Like,
oh, I see what you're saying.
90% of people aren't gonna know what that is, but in that context,
type shit, right? Yeah, I get it. Okay.
But I don't have big enough ones to be in a position to sell them, or so would not really be sold for anything.
Yeah. Hey, man. So, what are you making all this money for?
To be rich.
So that's it, huh? End all be all?
To be rich, and literally because there's nothing better to do.
You know, I find it so funny because the number one thing that Matt always tells me is he's like, dude, like I'm working like 30% as hard as I could be, and I'm still achieving all these results. Like, what would happen if I worked at 100%? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm at a point where more effort I don't think doesn't really translate to.
So you're saying that it's not 1-to-1 with you, and I mean you have a massive team now, right?
I don't know about massive, but they're really good. Yeah.
We grabbed dinner.
It's lean.
Days ago, we talked about it. Yeah. Anyway, suffice to say, like, man, I wonder if you could find that thing that like makes you really want to push 100%. And then
I hope so. But like, I think at a point where more effort doesn't lead. Well, I'm sure it could, but not in the way that you're describing. I don't think. And then more money, because like some guy you could just reinvest it all, and it would make you more money. But like now, like reinvesting more money doesn't really do anything.
Right.
You need to make it better, and you make it better with brain, not just putting more money into it.
Yeah, like strategic thinking. I mean, like honestly, I feel like when you're at that point where you're saying more effort doesn't lead necessarily to more results, like the optimal usage of your time is literally just like sitting on your chair and staring at the ceiling and being like, like how do I make this better?
Yes. How do I make it? Well, if you go back to that thing like leverage, you have media leverage, capital leverage, labor, or code.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take all day, 18 hours a day to train someone. You can't really change being actively in your ad account more than once every 3 days or once a week is what I try to do. Makes it worse.
Matt's workday is 18 hours.
Yeah. Well, it used to be. When I had my agency, it was.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it improperly. And I have like so many good automations that a lot of people just don't exist that would have existed like 2 years ago. And so many good is like 6 automations that just like took out like 60 people probably.
Yeah, I mean it's all fun and games until you legitimately replace like a sizable portion of the country's GDP.
And then in terms of labor, like I have like I don't think hiring more people would do anything.
In your case? Well, your things are so inherently scalable and divorced from like unit time. I mean, these are algorithms that are just run up affiliates, right? Like what are people in their business actually doing?
I tried to hire this guy who like mid six figures, and like he doesn't know. Like he came recommended. Didn't even know anything more that I would know for sure, and not even more than like people who make 120K that are working here like
Right.
understand. I'm just like, okay. So unless I don't know like who I would even hire at this point.
Well, I think we chatted about this a little bit at dinner, but like I feel like some sort of like coach would be valuable.
Yeah, I know coaching hire, but not like
hire within the business, but yeah, just for personal purposes. Like you could totally poach some dude that was running Netflix's CEO through the ringer, and you could totally do that at your level of revenue. And then not only would you also just get some cool association, which you don't really need because let's be real, you have a social proof of something.
I'm trying to get off the internet even more. Like I'm trying to like reduce the brand.
Interesting. But why though? Is it for AI automation reasons? Do you think that like that has more staying power? Because I've thought about that.
I feel like if you don't actively upkeep your brand, it shrinks naturally.
Yeah, definitely. Because other market entrants just grow proportionally and it pushes you out.
Yeah. Like people forget about you fast as much as you like to think that people love you. And there will be like a certain percentage of that do. But like maybe that's 10% of people, which is, I don't know what it is, but randomly. But the 90%, like, probably don't care either way. Like, they'll watch it if it's there. And then, and like, those 10% will always be there probably. Like, if you see those YouTubers that don't post once a year and they get huge views, like, but it's just, I don't know. So, like, I'm trying to, I have like 1,000 different email addresses and stuff, and I'm trying to condense them to like 1 or 2 for all my stuff. And I'm trying to delete old stuff because I have a lot of old stuff on the internet that I'm like embarrassed about, not in the sense that it's embarrassing, but like I'm much smarter now. I wouldn't really want that stuff to like be out there anymore. When I used to like, let's just say 5 years ago, I thought something about ads and I've learned a lot. And I think that's stupid now. There's a lot of that stuff on the internet about me.
Right.
I'm trying to like get it. Yeah.
How do you get that stuff down? Like you can't do a takedown, can you?
My assistant actually emails a lot of people. Like I used to like go hard on guest posting.
Right.
And I like get them to email the person. Like a lot of it's not even highly ranked. I doubt like unless you were looking for it on like page 15, you wouldn't even see it. But I like
a couple of your guest posts.
Yeah, I email them to try to get it taken down. And a lot of people will take it down. Like I found.
Yeah, I mean, like, anyway, you can't
like I go to them. I go as a copy and paste message, but it's like hat in hand. Like, I don't mean to like ruin. I'm sorry, but I just like am embarrassed about this. Like admitting how embarrassed I am because I just don't think this is longer true. And they're like, oh, okay. They're very understanding.
Well, no, I mean, it makes sense for them, right? They're publishers that are taking down the bullshit that 100%.
So I probably got like 50. I don't count. I asked my assistant, but 50 plus stuff taken down. Just because it's not a good reflection of what I actually think anymore. And you told me this. There's like so many things where people say like, you said to do this. I'm like, I did? Like, where? You know? Like, you said to do this. I'm like, and then she's like, oh, I read your book that you wrote 6 years ago. I'm like,
you're like, oh shit. Dude, I was quite the blogger back in the day. So about like 100 blog posts full of stuff that like I cannot verify the veracity of or the accuracy of it all. So sometimes I have people that are like, they bring up like one of my old guides on how to like stay really healthy. And it's like, you must steam cook all of your chicken.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I haven't steam cooked my chicken in months.
Yeah. I don't know about but giving health advice has a lot of legal consequences.
Yeah, I know.
Potential legal consequences.
God, you got to be real careful about that stuff. And you know about that now because you're in affiliate.
Yeah.
Some of that intersects with the health market.
Like I took down a lot of videos I made about like what vitamin stack to use because I said it was
really?
Fact. Yeah.
Was this back in the day when you were talking about like
no, even like videos that I've made on YouTube within like the last year, I've taken them down.
That's so funny, man. Because are you still taking that vitamin stack, by the way?
Yeah, it's good. I recommend it, but it's like just telling people to do it is like telling someone to buy a stock like legally.
So I recommend to do it, but I can't tell you what they are for legal reasons.
I just usually say this is what I do for me. I'm not recommending it to you, but this is what I do, and that's usually good enough.
Jesus Christ!
If you're going to say something like that,
I gotta get back on those subs, man. Dude, I started taking vitamin D at night. Not vitamin D, magnesium at night. That's helped. You taking mag?
I do take Meg, yeah. I take Meg, zinc, selenium, omega-3, C, D, K2, B12.
You guys also has a stack memorized.
I do. And then, like, as you get bigger, like, you know, like when those professional athletes get drafted, like, to the NFL, and then they look and, like, he was just saying racist crap, like, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if I'm ever going to get big enough, but I think you should, like, go and, like, progressively go back and delete stuff.
You realize that the only way that I could do that is if I deleted all of the podcasts I have with you on this channel, because that's the only place I'm ever.
No, I'm not saying
somebody remotely this
stuff,
offensive.
but like, yeah,
dude, you can clip day after day of me just being like ha 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 to some like insane shit you said. Get out of here, man.
But like,
you are literally the biggest problem in my life when it comes to risk vectors right now. You know that, right?
Yeah, but it's good. It's me. It's not you. You're just. I'm just gonna like, yeah. But I feel like it's a big problem. People just go out of their way to tear you down or to try to like strong arm you with a lawsuit.
Dude, I'm gonna get a takedown for sure. This kid is doing a takedown of me right now. Actually, it's funny you mention this. His name is Preston something. He makes videos about me and he tags me and he says like. Nix-Arrive's templates are commoditized, bro. Like Nix-Arrive doesn't know how to sell. He's in a dying market. Nix-Arrive does whatever. This isn't like a takedown where they go through my stuff and they're like, oh, he said this one slightly offensive thing that one time. But like, I'm actually seeing it now. Like people are already starting to
really?
Nick is a rising star, so I need to latch onto that in some way, shape, or form. It's really interesting actually, the social dynamics of it.
It's because they have nothing better to talk about.
I think in this young guy's case, it's just because I think he's seeing some churn with his community, and I think it's like on the way down. And I think he's probably just like looking for viral options of content.
But it's super low IQ for him. Like that doesn't actually get him more clients.
I mean, he made one video and it went viral, and it's the most viral one on his thing from what I could see. So
you're making him famous.
I think so. Anyway, I had somebody said it to me. The other day, and I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, like this is going to keep on happening. So here's another expose for you. This guy, Brett from DesignJoy. Have you heard of Brett from DesignJoy? Mm-hmm. So Brett from DesignJoy runs a productized design service for anybody here that doesn't know who he is. Definitely give him a Google, but DesignJoy is essentially design on subscription. Brett is like a world-class designer that leverages the hell out of his work. He uses templates for the most part, but it's his own templates and they're all super high quality. And when a new client comes in, what he does is he just like picks from one of the 5,000 templates he has, makes some modifications to it, changes color, changes whatever, changes font, and then delivers it to the client. For all intents and purposes, because Brett has made so many designs, the work comes, it's like super unique. It seems super unique. No clients ever have any issues and stuff, whatever. So because it's like $5K a month a pop, he got like 25 clients. And as a solo designer was making $125,000 a month-ish, I believe. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, from my perspective, I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's great. What an awesome business model. This makes total sense. Well, but a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe even longer, but this is when I saw the video. Some dude did a massive takedown of Brett from DesignJoy. It was like an expose. And it was like, I'm sick and tired of people. I forgot this guy's name. Maybe you guys know him. But I'm sick and tired of people claiming these insanely impossible revenue figures. And he made like a 45-minute video exposing Brett. The exposing part was literally just, that doesn't sound right to me. You can't make that much money as one person. And that was the whole exposure. Dude, the comments were filled to the brim. It went viral. It was like, yeah, Brett's a total bullshitter. Yeah, if you sell a course about something, you're a freaking loser. Yeah, you can't sell a course about whatever, because Brett ended up like making some templates and making a course on it. But that's not where he makes most of his money. He makes it like explicitly through his productized design service. So think about me, dude. I'm headed over to the school HQ in a couple weeks, right? 2 or 3 weeks. And they want me to deliver some brief little talk about how I did it. So I'm going to say, hey, I scaled to $300,000 a month with my school community, which is like, 1.5 times or 2 times whatever, like the next person up on the rung. Like I'm number one at this much money, and the next person up is like, a half of what I'm making. And I did it all completely on my own. Like that's freaking ripe for those expose pieces, man. Like I guarantee you somebody's going to come after my ass eventually and it's going to suck.
Yeah. You just literally got to not give a shit.
I mean, I don't, but like part of me also wonders, do I just let people say things about me that are blatantly false? Some dude ran some campaign. I think it was trying to take me down on my comments on YouTube saying like, Nick buys all his comments are botted. And, like, I'm not going to lie. When I started getting really positive comments, I was like, are these comments botted? Is somebody buying positive comments on me? But like, they're not. People just like, I have a large audience in like Bangladesh and India and like cultures where people are probably just extraordinarily thankful and they really like me and I'm like a big part of their lives. So they just leave really nice comments and stuff all the time. But this actually made an impact. I saw it on Reddit later. Somebody said, "Oh, I really like Nick," but then I saw how he was botting his comments and I was like, "Why are you botting your comments, man?" And like a bunch of people
have really weak minds. Like it's very easy to like sow doubt.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So it makes me wonder, like, do you actually, I feel like you actually have to like clap back against this at some point, or you just get taken down by sheer proxy of people bullshitting and missing.
If you're gonna be a public figure, you're gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah, which I will be, which makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but I don't think it's good to clap back. I think that makes you look weak usually, unless you just go over the top.
Like you do when somebody says some comment on YouTube.
Yeah, I just like say fuck you. Yeah, I do. Fuck you. I want a refund. I don't know where you saw you can get a refund, but fuck you.
Oh man.
I feel like a lot of my customer service messages, if they got leaked, it would actually be positive for me.
Just because it's like, damn.
It's like, sorry, this is too confusing. I'm like, sorry that you don't have high enough IQ. Maybe if you learn some stuff, you can rejoin later, but I'll do you a favor.
No, that's the difference between my brand and yours, Matt.
Yeah, and like that's what I mean. Like when you come, like most people would know that's going to happen. If they buy something from me.
I guess that's a good point, and then it filters out the people that you don't want to deal with.
It's like Theo Von.
Yes.
It's like him saying something crazy is just like expected. So when he says it, like if someone else said that, they would be screwed. But it's just like that's expected from him, so it's fine.
It's like the Kanye to some extent.
Yeah,
just every week he's got some crazy shit, and you're like, oh, he wants to be president now,
right? It's like that goes back to the funnel, like top of funnel, like why they come into your funnel matters a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not
the purpose that they're here. Are they here because they like you? Are they here because they want some business transformation? Are they here because they, I don't know, are looking for any help, not just your help? I feel like they need to be a real good fit if you want, to actually like them and not hate your life.
Yeah, I know. Like an example is one of my clients runs ads to like a free ebook.
Yeah.
About his thing, and then he's like, "Why is no one booking a call?" I'm like, well, they are clicking an ad for an ebook. They're not clicking an ad to book a call.
Right, obviously. Yeah, what is the intent behind the click?
And just like, it's just, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like the reason why I make my content, like, and I feel like there's what am I trying to say? The higher up market you're trying to get, the more valuable their time is. So the shorter your content should be and more direct, in my opinion. So like that's why I'm gonna try to make my stuff direct, like, and like you could see it because I've done like consulting at every level of the market, from like under 10K to like usually 10 to 100K to 100 to 500K, and then I've done it for 1 million plus. And the people that I do consulting with, like at 1 million plus per month, some of them are at like over 9 figures. They like don't even show up to the calls. They just like no show our one-on-one calls all the time.
Yeah.
And then they just reappear and ask like 3 questions about something specific and then disappear for another 3 weeks. And they're like very happy with the service,
Pleasure doing business with you.
No, they're like very happy if you ask them, and they aren't lying because they just never churn. They're just like, oh, okay,
interesting.
Perfect.
So they just want bullet points to specific problems that they're facing? Yeah,
like they don't give a shit about anything versus like someone, and you probably, I don't know, you see it in your school.
Beginners, yeah.
They would show up to 10 calls a week, group calls a week, if you had 10 group calls a week.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's like it's not like saying it, so you have nothing better to do. Like the more upmarket you get, they're busier, their time is more valuable, but they also get more value from a good suggestion. Like the same suggestion to a big, the same, like if you give one good advice that gives 10% improvement to someone who's doing 50 mil a year, versus the same thing that gets 10% improvement to something that does 5K a year or 50K a year, let's say. One person's making 5 mil, one person's paying 50 or 5K. It's like, so you want to make it like shorter, in my opinion.
Yeah. I guess you want to make it shorter. That makes sense. Yeah, I think
It's the
another
same
way
thing.
to
Like when a lot of people I know, I don't run ads myself for like consulting, like I said, but a lot of people I know run ad to a landing page that has a WhatsApp button. There's no form, there's no Calendly. You just click on it and they text you, or they don't.
I think the difference here as well is the problem that you're solving as you move up market, because presumably lower market, like it's more about the identity of the person. And then as you move up market, it's more about the specific tactical implementation of some big business decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like went back to the mindset type content.
Yeah.
Like that's not what they need at that point. They need to like solve, why is my no-show rate from LinkedIn ads lower than my no-show rate from Facebook ads, and what should I do about it?
Not working.
Yeah. Yeah. So like most of those people, like, and I'm not the, if they wanted that advice, they would have someone else giving it to them, like the executive coach for the Netflix or something.
Marriage advice, let me tell you.
Yeah. Like I actually am. but it's like they hired you for a specific problem, and
yes,
so all your content should be as fast as possible to solve that specific problem. In my opinion,
that's very interesting. It's like amount of value per unit,
value per second is what one of my clients told me. Value per second, and then like the same thing I said earlier, perceived value per second.
Definitely perceived value per second is huge. Definitely perceived value per second is huge.
Like, those titles that I'm going to solve, like, here's a looks maxing guide in 60 seconds is one that was on my feed. And they just like, okay, and they just like going as fast as possible, and it went like super viral.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's wild. Yeah, perceived value for the looks maxing, definitely. Get it. Like
perceived value perceived value is like the thumbnail, the packaging, the title.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm finding so important. And that's how I took videos that were consistently hitting 10 of 10, like I was mentioning earlier, and now they're like 2 of 10. Like it's literally just perceived value. The actual value of the content is not fundamentally different. And if you think about it, what's interesting is the value of the content in a Q&A post, just dialing it back, is literally the value that people pay me money for in school. Like that's why I make all the money, because they just want Q&As, right? Like that is the thing that I charge people money for. And the perceived value of my previous packaging solution was shit. Now the perceived value is very high, and then it matches the actual value provided. So you should just try and match the value, Yes.
And then like, it's weird. It is weird, And then you have the longest, or not you, but like in general, you have a 10-hour masterclass and they go viral, right? But literally the average view duration on those is usually smaller than something that's going to be like 15 minutes.
Have you looked at my stats? Are we talking Nick Sarayev here specifically?
Well, yes.
I haven't looked at any of these.
No. Like I have access to 215 YouTube channels and a lot of them do those, and I look.
You're at 215, so I'm just one of 215 for you.
Yeah, well, my clients all add me to their YouTube channel.
All right.
Or if they do YouTube, at least.
Podcast thing.
Mm-hmm. And like literally, you'll have like an 8-hour video. The average duration's like 5 minutes because people click on it because there's high perceived value, but not per second.
That's true. What the hell's my average watch time now, man? It must have dipped. It's dipped so hard.
The average watch time is a bit useless because it really depends on how long your video is.
Okay, my average view duration is 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Right.
Damn, that seems trash.
Yeah, but this 5-hour, 48-minute video I'm on is 9 minutes, which is like 3 minutes and 22 seconds more than usual, but that video is like 30 times longer than usual.
Jesus. Okay, that's wild.
But that's everybody. That's not just you, because I actually checked. So it's like, it's good for views. People like click on it, and I'm sure it works. And I'm sure some people watch all of it, because like, I wouldn't say people are watching more of those type of videos. It's just because a certain percentage of people are always going to watch 6 hours, and that's just going to artificially drag it up. It should be like median ad time.
Yes, Agreed. It's the same thing with like.
So like people click on them more because it's a high perceived value, but not per second. Like, oh my God, 5 hours, 48 minutes.
Probably also depends on what sort of content you're optimizing for. My content, my average view duration might have gone up recently because it's search content. And when it's search content as opposed to like browse features, viral content, then people that are looking for a specific solution to a specific problem will watch the thing that they searched up.
Yeah, it matters country as well.
Country, definitely country. Yeah.
I only look at my US stats for everything.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's what I measure because
Yes, those are the
places
people
like
that typically pay you the money, right?
yeah, people like from like Africa, India, like Asia, like their stats are just very different. And
Yeah, of course.
those are I do get clients from those countries, but very few and far between.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
So it's literally US pretty much is US and some places in Europe, but
Matt, are you going to ask me about my goddamn third point? You've just been tickling my balls for the last 20 minutes.
no, I already did. This is your fifth point, you know?
We're just going
Because
to
we only got a few minutes left.
We only have a few minutes left.
What is your fifth point?
Well, Matt, my fifth point is another tactical point on content. So everything eventually gets commoditized, right? Everything. Like eventually, there are just so many entrants into the market that you start looking to stand out with smaller and smaller things. And then eventually the difference between Nick Sarayev and the other 5,000 people that have now copied me verbatim and have started competing channels are like the screen share, the border radius on my screen share window in the bottom right hand corner, or like the small little shadow on my face, or like the specific intro effect in my video. Do you know what I mean? It's like the actual thing that I talk about commoditized. So the big discovery for me is about 4 days ago, I started providing like live lead gen and demand gen content on my daily updates channel. And I just started recording videos of me like generating leads through cold email and Upwork and stuff. And my viewership and watch time has tripled basically in the last like 3 days since I started doing that stuff. It went from, I don't know, 200 something, whatever. Well, I'm just thinking about the graph. It was like from 200 something per day, and I don't know what that unit was, to like 600 per day. So I say this because there's certain things that are just irreplicable, right? Irreplicable content that you just can't create unless you know what the hell you're talking about. The reality is the content that I've been providing up until now is mostly like, hey, you got an N8N template, watch me do the video. The reality is that content competes in the same pool of people that have no idea what the hell they're doing with the tool that I'm using. It's very difficult to showcase why I'm better than they are at the tool because any one of them could have just like paused the video, thought for 4 hours, and then like dragged the next module in and just repeated it. Even if they have higher production times, the end result is the same. They don't actually need to know what they're doing in order to like compete with me in that market. But if you want to do like sales, like live lead gen, live sales, that sort of stuff, like nobody can compete with you, right? It's going to be like a market of one. So that's what I'm doing. I am transitioning over to that sort of content because that content just like disproportionately slaps. And then it's also like proof is in the pudding, right? Like I'm actually going out there and doing the things that all of these beginners are wondering how to do. And is it the best use of my time? Like, no, it does take a fair amount of time. But do I think that this is going to buy me like years of authenticity and like, holy shit, Nick's the man? Yeah, I think it will. Like just looking at the daily updates viewership, the fact that it tripled, that's not even on my main channel, right? Like that's crazy talk. So yeah, when I do stuff like this, and then I combine it with that clipping strategy that I was mentioning before, where I can like clip out all of like the stuff that's boring in the sales flow, and instead it's just like hyper fast cut good stuff. I think it's gonna make me go viral, no problem. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just actually doing the sales. Like I'm selling a program that is supposed to teach you how to sell. So I'm just gonna actually just do all the sales live, and then I'm just gonna hypercut it and put it on my main channel.
Mm-hmm. There's like, yes, I completely agree. There's just like, I don't know how you would say it, but like the success on YouTube or I guess anything is like people's like, especially like people I talk to a lot, like I can't get any clients from like, it doesn't work. No one watches my videos. Like, yeah, like you don't do anything that anyone couldn't do obviously in 5 seconds if they thought about it.
Right.
So like, why would they, you know?
Yeah.
It's, you know, you maybe you are bad. You have a bad camera. Like that could be true. I do as well. Like you're bad at speaking. You stutter a lot, but like, anything you talk about is either such common sense that it's like not even worth it, or it's what everyone else says, or it's worse than like they already know individually. So like,
Yes.
why would anybody watch this? And especially why would anybody become a client from this? And like, you know, it's just like, I think it was Daniel Fazio, or I think I read one of his tweets. It was like, you know, like people are getting clients. Like, would you buy your own offer? And they're like, yeah, no, you wouldn't because it's terrible. And it's like, I think that's like very applicable to a YouTube video. Would you watch your own YouTube video? No? Okay.
Right. Yes. In the absence of that knowledge, would you watch your own YouTube video? If the answer to that is no, then obviously why are you expecting other people to do it?
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't watch most of my own YouTube videos.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I've never watched one of your YouTube videos, so it's even and fun.
You don't have
like,
to. A lot of
I literally have never watched a single one.
Nope. We got enough. Yeah. We got enough other people watching.
I know you got a lot of people. It's pretty good. It's pretty impressive. But it's like, why would someone watch your YouTube video? Like, why would someone read your newsletter? Like, there's literally,
never thought of that.
It's just, but I'm not even kidding at all. Like, why would someone watch this?
Yeah, I get
and
it.
then if you can't answer it, like within 1 second, that's going to answer your question.
Hey, how much longer are you in Calgary for, man?
Until July 19th or July 18th.
July 18th, cool. Yeah, we should grab dinner a couple more times. We should. Matt and I were talking about like the perfect day and what the perfect day would look like. And I'm paraphrasing here, but you were like waking up, you go to the gym, you do your timed hourly work blocks, however many you were saying. You just go to dinner with friends and I guess in your case, your girlfriend and like the people that are close to you. And then you just like do some cool thing like sports or something. You just go to bed. Dude, that'd be such a dope ass lifestyle, man. I want a group of guys that I can just do that out here with. And I've yet to find one. Like I just want to go out to dinner every night. Hormozy talks about like, I go to dinner every night with Layla. And, I think sometimes there are other people there and they just like have a great, jolly old time. And I don't know. It's just like the perfect combo of working on shit that you care about and then moving something forward,
I know. It's a nice life.
Yeah, damn, man. Let's do that a couple days. All right.
Okay. I can do it for you.
No, just for me, huh? Yeah, right. Yeah, Matt's just literally in his closet again. Put the blinds up, bro. Like, listen, let me help you touch some grass here.
Yeah.
All right, you want to call it there?
Yeah, let's call it there.
Cool, my brother. Great podcast. Looking forward to the next one.